first time of serious duty, but it's not my first time sitting here and watching council. We now have a new mayor. I congratulate you, Mayor Matt, and I congratulate everyone else. But from Reverend Brown, who I admire, the things you said during the inauguration, you did not have to say. You could have just said, as for, I'm here sitting here for Councilwoman Richard Rivers, congratulations, and move on. But you said we have to stand by this mayor, because he's successful, we're successful. He's blessed, we're blessed, and you went on. You did not have to say that, but you did. And I believed you. And all along, you went away and you approved his appointments. And then when you got to these two, you stopped. And you know, I got a call. I believe it was Saturday or Sunday morning. Saturday night, Sunday morning. A person accidentally called the wrong person. They told me there's going to be obstruction on the council during the reorg, and that they don't want Sadiq El-Amin or Carl Ann Bryan. They want Mike Gilliam. Guess what? That person is not the mayor. We did not vote for that person that called me accidentally. I voted for Mayor Matt, and as Mrs. El-Amin said, I'm sure some of you have voted for him as well. If you believed in him enough to vote for him, why can't you believe in him enough to say that these two men should be appointed? You know why? Jerry Green. That's why. That's right. Don't look that way. Jerry Green. He put you there, he strung you up, and now you speak for him. But guess what? Jerry Green's not sitting there. Now you say he sat up there and talked about God is good. And everybody said all the time. But he didn't even know the other line. It was all the time, God is good. You know why? Because he's a phony. And he is the one that's doing this obstruction. I wish he was sitting there right now, but of course he had to go home. He sat there to make sure you guys said what he told you to say. Now, Reverend Brown, I seriously admire you. I've watched you on YouTube preach, and you had me going, and that's on YouTube. If you follow the Bible, do you pick and choose what is right and what is wrong? No, you believe in the whole Bible. You don't believe in this psalm and not that psalm, or this verse and not that verse. You believe in the entire Bible. So if you believe in, and sorry to put you that high up, Mayor Matt, but if you believe in Mayor Matt, why can't you believe in Sadiq El-Amin or Carl Ryan? Why? Did you interview him? Darren Greaves? Did you interview him? Bill Reed? Did you interview him?
Yes, I
or
did.
them? Richard Rivers?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
And so, you know what it is? You got Mike Gilliam on your mind. Mike Gilliam, but that's not what our mayor wants. That's not what he wants. When you become the mayor, then you can appoint Mike Gilliam. And he's probably a great person because I Googled him. Now I'm going to tell you a story that not even Mayor Matt knows. But he's going to know it tonight. My son was shot and killed. I lost my son at 26 years old. Now they over here talking about Mike Gilliam. Well, yeah, guess what? I'm on the receiving end. My son was shot and killed. And do you know who came to my door to tell me? Carl Riley. Carl Riley came to my house to tell me that my son was son was killed in 2004. I had the engine running. I didn't know what to do. And I got a big family. But I didn't want to bother them. I picked up the phone, and you know who I called? Carl Riley. Again, I'm on the receiving end. I'm a mother who lost her son. Those guys, who did they lose? You know, I sat on that phone with Carl Riley, I don't know how long, crying. And guess what? It must have been maybe 11, 12 o'clock at night. That man picked up his cell phone. He sounded like he was sleeping. He stayed on that phone with me. And he said, "Who's with you?" Because I guess he could hear the engine of the car running. I said, "I'm okay." I saw a car. Slow after a while, I saw a car slowly driving past my house. And he said, "Do you want somebody to come with you?" And I said, "No." Because I wanted to kill myself. Because I could not live without my son.
Have a motion to extend the second. All those in favor?
And then I see, thank you, then I see Tracy Brown, Reverend Tracy Brown. And she has to go behind all those coffins. And many times I wanted to go in her church, but I couldn't. Many times I wanted to go to those funerals, but I felt that would be just reopening of a wound and throwing salt in it. To watch those parents, the child is gone. It's the parents that suffer, and I've been suffering for 10 years. So when you say no to Carl Riley, you say no to me. And I'm a Plainfielder for 23 years. I moved out of Brooklyn, New York, so my son could survive, and he died in Plainfield. And you say no? You say no to Sadiq Al-Amin? You say no to Carl Riley? You are not the mayor. Mayor Matt's the mayor. So when Jerry Green tells you who to vote for, tell Jerry Green, I serve a higher being, God. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I just wanted to say a couple words in response to that. As my colleague said, Councilman Stewart, that we're going to revisit Carl Riley's decision that we made in reference to that, in reference to the other one. Information I received from...
Excuse me, order.
Mr. Allen.
No, excuse me, no back and forth. We will have order at this meeting. We have the councilwoman up here speaking, and we're going to demand respect. If you would like to come to the mic, you can come to the mic and speak. Order.
Mr. Allen, is information that we received from several, from the PBA, Plainfield, several fire unions, and in reference to some things that we need to discuss that is very disturbing. So it's not just based on any assemblyman's point. It's based on things that we know from various sources.
And I also would like to just say one thing. Assemblyman Green works for Trent. He does not work for the Plainfield City Council. He did not and will never have any influence over any type of vote that I take. I take offense, I don't want to say I take offense because I understand your passion. I understand your passion, and I'm very sorry for the loss of your son. But I want you to know that any decision that I make is a decision that I can get up and look in the mirror and say I made the right decision. I serve a a guy just as high as anybody else. The guy that looks high, and he sits high and looks low. And as I stated before, any decision that I make, my conscience is what drives me to make that decision. I take strong offense to anyone. I understand I was in Aruba for 5 days. I just got back last night, and I understand I was on the blog and I was on Facebook about an assemblyman directing me, telling me who to vote for. That is so far from the truth. Ms. Collins, I respect you. I respect you to the utmost. And if there's any time you have any questions that you would like for me to address, all you gotta do is pick up the phone. I see you in passing, and I do apologize. Like I said, my heart goes out to you. But Assemblyman Green works for Trent, and he also is the chairman of Union County. And he also has an office down in Washington Avenue. He does not control this council or council president, Bridget Rivers.
I'm a new member of the council, and I abstain because I don't know enough about that situation. And I would agree with you that there's separation of powers, but I live in this community too. There are situations going on with the police that affect our community. And I think that needs to be looked into. It's not finished. Therefore, I couldn't vote aye. The people who he nominated, I think, are highly qualified, personally. However, it's not really just about that. And I think that we owe it to not only ourselves, but to the citizens in Plainfield to look into this situation that's going on that affects the police. I have been an administrator. The union should not dictate who we employ, and I think the mayor is aware of that. But I also think that whenever you hold public office like this, when you work as a public servant, you have to deal with all of the issues. Sometimes it's really not you. Maybe it's the impact of your leadership on other people. And I think that something is going on that we have to address. And I would never vote on everything for that mayor, because my husband was a mayor, and he was a great mayor. But I think that when there are situations that affect the community, which the police does, and not just the police, the violence and all of that, we need to look into it. And I think that's what I was trying to do, and I think members of this council are trying to do it as well. Yeah, we talked to Jerry Green, talked to a number of people, but he's not the one. We're sitting here, just like you said, the buck stops here with us, just like it stops with the mayor. And I do think you need to stop using Jerry Green as an excuse. Let's deal with the people who are here. No, I'm serious. He's not the one. The people here need to be addressed, and you did a great job in addressing that. But I want to say that I'm not finished with the situation. I do appreciate that you talked about the humanity of a gentleman who does not live in Plainfield, and I appreciate that. So that says to me that you don't have to live in Plainfield. You have to have integrity, and you have to have the person who is concerned about people and does his job that way. I want us to give us an opportunity to fix this situation as much as we can. I wanted to vote totally in favor of everything. I really did, but I got information, and it's not, I need to hear the other side too. I mean, I haven't heard the other side. People accuse you of stuff, and you may not have done any of that. However, we need more time, and it's too important. The violence in our city, the working with police, I mean, there's all kinds of issues. The racism in the department itself, and then you have people who are like the gentleman that you described, who's up for this position, man, who goes beyond the call of duty because he cares for people. I understand where you're coming from, but don't take the easy route about some political person, Jerry Green. That is not my situation. Now, I have a track record in this town, and I am not listening. I'm listening to everybody, but he doesn't even want to dictate. Maybe he does, but he's not going to do it with me. And I think this council wants to make this start. They want to support our new mayor. But he understands why we are concerned about that particular issue. It is not a done deal. But you can't vote on stuff and it's not, we don't have all the facts that will impact the city, not just a political decision or a person who has an administrative job as the head of the city, believe me. And so I really would like, I'm not finished with that. And I will say the next time when I figure out what it is that we need to do and address this issue, it's not over. And I'm going to say, just like you feel about the gentleman that you spoke, I feel that way about Sadiq, okay? I do. I feel he's a personal friend of mine. But I'm saying to you, we have a responsibility to do what's best for the citizens of Plainfield. And this issue is a following issue that we have to address. And I do think we owe it to you as to what that resolve will be.
Motion to close public comment, please. We have another council member that's.
I just want to say that I take great offense to the thought that you think that we don't even have mind of our own to make a decision on whatever information we get. We get information from all sides. We are grown-ups, we're adults, and we have to sit through this information, and because you think one side or the other side, I've also lost a daughter. And I know that pain. Believe me, I know that pain. But don't sit down here and blame us just because you did not get what you want. You are, but that is the fact. If you had gone straight ahead, all along, and yes, you would have gotten what you want, or what Mr. Matt wanted, it would be okay, but we have to make decisions one way or the other, because we are the ones sitting down here. Thanks.